Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta Anil Dhake and I am from KTHM College, Nasik. I am Assistant Professor in Department of Zoology. Today I will be taking a topic from soft skills which is microscope, and this is the first lecture for it. So let's begin with what is a microscope. So it is an instrument used to magnify small objects which cannot be visualized by a naked eye. Supposingly, if there is a very small organism, let's say a paramecium. Now paramecium is not visible to the naked eye. So how can we visualize it? We can use a microscope so that when we see through the microscope, we get a bigger picture, a magnified picture, an enlarged picture of this particular paramecium, and we will be able to understand its structure. So let's begin with the history of the microscopes. The history of microscope can be traced back to 4000 years ago, where the Chinese used the water microscope. Egyptians, Greeks and Romans also made good use of curved lenses. Then in 1200, the spectacles were invented, followed by telescopes. Han Lippershey and his son Zacharias used several lenses in a tube and found that object at the end of the tube was magnified significantly beyond the capability of a magnifying glass, which ultimately led to the discovery of compound microscope. Mid-17th century, an Englishman, Robert Hooke, and Dutchman, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, took the microscopes to new levels. Hooke invented iris diaphragm. Leeuwenhoek began to experiment for improving the optical quality. He had earned the title of father of microscope. Whereas in 1930s, Charles Hall invented a chromatic lens. Then in 1830, Joseph Lister solved the problem of spherical aberrations. Abbe, who was working for Carl Zeiss, made clear difference between magnification and resolution. By 1869, his work produced illumination device called as Abbe's condenser. In 1880, the first microtomes began to be used that enabled significantly thinner samples to be prepared in order to improve the sample quality. In 1893, August Köhler figured out illumination system known as Köhler illumination. Its benefits are uniformly illuminated specimen, a bright image, and minimal glare. In other words, it forms a total perfect image. In 20th century, more new microscopes such as ultraviolet microscopes, electron microscopes were developed, and still new models are arising, which have improved the quality of magnification and thus the quality of research also. Now let's move on to the types of microscopes. So at a very basic level, we'll talk about it. It may have single lens or it may have combination of lens. When you are using one single lens, the microscope will be referred to as a simple microscope, which we will be studying later. And where multiple lenses are used, such a microscope we call it as a compound microscope. Now let's see one by one the structure of these two microscopes. First is simple microscope. What you see in this particular picture is a simple microscope. It is also known as a dissecting microscope. It is useful for biologists to study entire organisms which are very smaller. Even parts of larger organisms would be observed in detail under this microscope. This is also used for dissecting smaller organisms. Dissecting microscope gives lower magnification and does not exceed 20 to 60 times than that of the object. Simple microscope is made up of two parts. One is optical part and second one is mechanical part. Now we'll see one by one what are the parts. You can see it in the picture also. So first we'll talk about the base. Now the base is made up of heavy material which rests on the table top. Optical part of a simple microscope is composed of a single convex lens which magnifies the object and produces the image. The ocular lens used is either of 10x or 20x. Now the stage of a dissecting microscope is simple and made up of glass gripped laterally by the metal plates. The stage is provided with two clips to fix or hold the slide firmly in the position. Now about the mechanical part, it holds the lens in proper position and is provided with adjusting screws or knob to obtain proper magnification. Adjustable mirror is fitted below the glass stage. It has plano-concave surface to focus the converging rays of light on the object. So this was all about the simple microscope. Let's move on to a more complex structure where it is referred to as a compound microscope. In this particular diagram, what you see over here is a compound microscope. So basically it is a sophisticated instrument which can magnify an object up to 1200 times. As the name indicates, this type of microscope is made up of two lenses, an objective and eyepiece, which is clearly seen in this particular diagram. The object or material is first magnified by the objective lens, and then the magnified image is so formed is once again magnified by the eyepiece lens. In this way, the object is doubly magnified over here. Now one by one we'll see what are the parts of the compound microscope. Let's begin with the stand. The stand is made up of heavy foot. Here what you see by the pointer or the arrow where I am pointing is the foot, which carries a curved inclinable limb, okay, or arm bearing the body tube. The foot is heavy structure. Generally it is horseshoe shaped, resting on the tabletop. Just above the foot, where the foot joins with curved limb of body, an inclination joint is present. Okay, an inclination joint is present. This allows the arm to be tilted at different angles for its convenient usage. The second one we will be talking about is the stage. It is rectangular or square shaped. This one that I am pointing right now, this structure is referred to as the stage. Please follow the arrow. In the center of a stage, there is a small circular hole covered with a glass for passage of light. The stage is provided with two clips or mechanical device to fix and hold the slide firmly in position. So when you are observing a particular slide, your hands will remain free if you fix the slide by means of these particular stage clips that are present. Okay, now the next one is the condenser and the substage. The substage is situated around the central hole of the stage and holds the condenser. The condenser is a conical metallic structure having a convex lens at the top and an adjustable iris diaphragm. Can you see in this particular picture here, you can see the diaphragm. This is nothing but a diaphragm. It is going to control the amount of light which is going to pass through or is going to be present on the object. The material to be observed is brought into view by moving the slide and then fixed with the help of the clips. The purpose of the diaphragm or disc is to control the amount of light passing through the material to be observed. I have already mentioned it. Now we'll talk about the adjustable mirror. An adjustable mirror is fitted below the condenser. It has a plano-concave surface to focus the converging rays of light on the object through the iris diaphragm and condenser in order to obtain a brightly illuminated image of the object. Now we'll talk about the body tube. The body tube of the microscope consists of movable tubular body. This is referred to as the body tube. Okay, follow the arrow. This is referred to as the body tube. The tube has an ocular or eyepiece of specific magnification which can be changed for lower or higher magnification. That is, you can use 5x eyepiece, 10x eyepiece or 15x eyepiece. Eyepiece with a pointer are also available. Suppose that you are observing a mitosis or a meiosis slide where there are large number of cells and you want to point out the specific cell, then you can use this pointer to point out that particular stage or that particular cell which is showing a fixed stage in mitosis or meiosis. Then two objective lenses will be present or objective lenses will be present which are going to be of 4x, 10x, 40x, 45x are mounted on the revolving nose piece at the lower end. Some microscopes may also have a third objective lens which is going to be of 100x which requires oil immersion and also called as oil immersion lens. The tube with the eye and objective lens can be moved up and down to focus the object sharply with the help of coarse adjustment knob. So here what you see is a coarse adjustment knob, and there is also presence of fine adjustment knobs. You can see it here. These are fine adjustment knob and this one is coarse adjustment knob. So the object is first viewed under lower magnification using the coarse adjustment and then under higher magnification by rotating the revolving nose piece. While viewing at a higher magnification, one should always use fine adjustment knob only. Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to see is the eyepiece. With the upper end of the body tube is attached a narrow smaller tube which houses the eyepiece. It is a compound lens made up of lower convex and an upper plane lens. The most commonly usable eyepiece, as I have already mentioned, is 5x, 10x or 15x. Let's talk about the nose piece and the objective. The nose piece is a concavo-convex circular disc attached to the lower end of the body tube. Nose piece or nose plate is attached with the body in such a way that it can easily rotate on its axis or point of attachment. See, follow the arrow. So the arrow that I am showing right now over here, white arrow, is going to be the nose piece to which there will be objectives attached. By rotating the nose plate, the desired objective could be brought in line of light rays. So you can bring in line the 4x objective, 10x objective, 40x or 100x by just moving this particular nose piece. Now the objective is a small tube containing a combination of lenses. Usually the most common usable objective are of focal length 2/3 inch, that is 16 mm, or they are going to be of 4 mm or 2 mm. The first objective gives minimum magnification, and the last objective, that is say 40x or in some cases 100x, it is going to give the maximum kind of maximum kind of magnification will be available over here. So this was basically the structure of simple microscope and a compound microscope. We'll also discuss, so there are various other types of microscopes also available, which are like compound microscope is optical or light microscope, then you have the phase contrast microscope, fluorescence microscope, electron microscope, and you also have dark field microscope, which will be taught in some other lectures. So we need to understand some of the concepts when we talk about a microscope, which is magnification, resolution, numerical aperture and illumination. The first one is magnification. It is the amount or degree of visual enlargement of the observed object. So if you consider a particular object to be of a particular size, then this 2x is going to be twice the size of that particular object. 4x is going to be the magnification, or the observed image will be of 4 times much larger than the actual object, and in case of 10x the formed visualization will be 10 times larger than the actual organism or actual object. Now what is resolution? It is the shortest distance between the two separate points in a microscopic field under view that can still be distinguished as a two distinct entities. Supposingly, if you are observing something under microscopes and there are two very minute objects which are placed very close to each other. Okay, now the perfect resolution is going to be the one at which you will see these closely placed small object very distantly. The distance between these closely placed objects can also be seen properly, then you call it as the good resolution. Next one is the numerical aperture. It is a measure of microscope's ability to gather light and resolve fine specimen details. Okay, then illumination. It is used to transmit light through a translucent object for viewing it. So these were some of the concepts that I wanted to talk about the microscope, and this was all from my side. Thank you.